which is a big question. And I want Gathalion to lead off on this. But should players be allowed to reforge drops outside of the Iron Banner? Quick thing, Goth, before you start, could you just quickly recap what reforging is for anyone who doesn't know?
Okay, so in the Iron Banner, when you got Iron Banner weapons, you could take them to Lord Saladin and use a Mode of Light to reforge them, which would let you reroll the perks. So say that you got a Timur's Lash that you didn't care for the perks on and you wanted to try to re-roll it, you could try to get it with, Outlaw and whatever on it. And I've had friends who re-rolled the thing like 60 times and didn't get the perk roll they wanted, but I feel like if they allowed players to re-roll the perks on faction items, say for like a cost of a commendation or so, because they're more or less irrelevant, then it would add another layer to finding gear and then another layer of RNG to the game. Because those currencies are more or less becoming just completely pointless.
Yeah, well, they need to do something with commendations, that's for sure. Because I have like 8 of them now. Like once you get your characters set, you just don't need them anymore, so they're pointless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I completely agree that reforging is okay when it comes to the currency being something that you don't have too much of. But I also believe in the fact that it could get really dangerous if it's like something you have an abundance of in terms of currency and you just reforge the hell out of a weapon over and over again, and then all of a sudden you have everyone just running around with like a massive amount of like overpowered weapons.
I agree with that. It's got to be something that's hard to get, because the minute it becomes like, hey, it's your commendations, you're getting those on a pretty regular basis if you're just doing Vanguard strikes, and that's a really easy economy to get reward out of, I feel. Whereas if it was but then again, does Destiny need another sort of currency? No. Like Eris has her own, and you're kind of done.
I don't think it needs another currency. I think using the accommodations is fine. I don't think it's too easy to get those.
I think it's fine for Motes of Light. Like, I don't see any problem with keeping it that. Just make it a little bit more expensive to do on other weapons.
Well, I have something like 30 commendations since the launch of the DLC, and that's almost 2 months, going on 2 months' time.
That's a lot.
How many
and if it took like 50 rolls to get a perfect roll on a Timur's Lash, and I'm only sitting on like 30 commendations, then I feel like the potential for breaking the game isn't there, because it would probably take a few hours to even grind out one commendation from scratch.
Yeah, I think commendations is fine, but if you could run off to something else, it could be dangerous.
Well, how many motes do you have? Because that's a set, leveling process. Like after you hit 20, the only way you can get a mote is by hitting the max level or getting it as a random drop. But typically you're going to get it for going up a level, and that takes a lot of time. So you can't really farm it. It's kind of a difficult to obtain thing.
Well, I think that's kind of used for engrams when Xur actually has them, right?
Yeah.
Like, Xur hasn't had an exotic engram for like 3 weeks, and when he came around last week and he had the exotic helmet engram, I only had still like 70 motes, not emotes.
Did he have
what about those sweet speaker marks?
70 emotes.
That's interesting.
Which engram did he have?
He had a helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last week.
And so, with each one costing about 23 motes of light.
We gotta hook this man up with a Vita. Get him some remote play action or something.
I couldn't do the raid on remote play.
Not to pull us off topic. I completely apologize. No, but I part of me wishes it's just strange coins. You're choosing between either reforging or getting your stuff from Xur.
No.
Yes.
I think that goes into the point of breaking stuff.
No, it doesn't.
There's a lot of people like me, like myself and Goth out there, who have a lot of the weapons. So we just have stacks of strange coins.
Well,
there's a lot. But you and I are the minority, though.
That's true.
So
there's also that. At the same time, right? So then does that mean the minority gets to have broken weapons while everyone else?
That's a good point too. The rich get richer. Yeah. That's the thing. That's
fair.
Delicate balance.
I don't know. Just
it's probably too late for it to be strange coins. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah. I think it's too easy to grab strange coins unless you make it like in order to reforge a weapon. Like it's like a lot of strange coins.
If the cost is high, I feel like
but strange coins already have their use. What about accommodations? There's no use for that really.
Well, I just want it to be an either-or scenario, because you're either choosing to invest them in one thing or you're choosing to invest them in something else. When it becomes its own currency, I feel that's when the danger is coming. And, of course, we're not game designers. This is obviously speculation, but it still comes down to, like, we don't want to see the game broken, right? Like, we don't.
Right.
So I just would like you to pick your poison.
What if they just made a custom set of weapons that were reforgeable? I think that would be a cool way to kind of tackle it, regardless of the economy that they choose to do it. I think having a set of reforgeable weapons, not just tied to Iron Banner, that you could do. It would be cool.
I think it'd be cool. Just make sure that it's not easy to do it a lot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I figured that if you had a faction weapon, say it's like a dead orbit weapon, you could only reforge it at the dead orbit guy if you're like rank 5, and then that would give you another reason to rank up the other factions that you don't use. So it's that perpetual carrot on a stick that Bungie wants.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah.
That
I
thing.
agree with that.
Well, I put this question out to the listeners. What do you think? Should you be able to reforge weapons outside of the Iron Banner? And if so, email us. Let us know. Destiny@ign.com.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to
We'd
plug
be
that.
curious to hear what you have to say about this topic.
Email.
And we're on iTunes. You're probably listening to it there. And we're on Android. Feedburner the podcast.
Yes, guys, we are on iTunes. We get a lot of tweets. Is it on iTunes?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes, now it's official. All right, so our last topic of the week is